computer and make that little computer work. These are little toys. Okay, you ready to start?
Yep.
Well, my name is Dick Jackson. I was with an engineering fabrication construction company after I graduated from college in 1955, and I went and flew in the Navy. We had a war going on then too, so that's why I wear those. But when I was 13 years old, I started getting interested in electronics, and I became a ham radio operator. And I had some help from a guy nearby. My father was not interested in that, but he helped me get started, and another guy called Elmer was somebody that I went to visit. He could help me learn to build radios. Well, that got me started, but my real interest was mechanical engineering. And in mechanical engineering, you get a lot of disciplines. Mechanical engineering is nothing more than how do you manage energy. It's really the green stuff. I mean, every engineering discipline has a unit. In electricity, it's volts, amps, in watts. In mechanical engineering, it's BTUs. It's called heat units, and that's what the green engineering is all about. So green engineering has been around a long time. It's just a matter of using the efficient use of energy. During my career, the most interesting thing was probably this one. This one, where it is? This one right here. This is a space chamber. Our company built space chambers. This one was for Boeing. And it principally, in it was tested the first lunar orbiter. You know what that one was? That was the first one that went around the moon to see if it was safe to send the first lunar landing. You know the name of the guy who was first set his foot on the moon? You don't know. You don't know.
Do you know? I know.
You do? Who? What? Neil Armstrong, a fraternity brother of mine.
1960 something?
Wow.
I can't remember the exact date, but 1960.
60 what?
What, 3?
9.
9.
Who said 10 years earlier that we'll have a man on the moon in 10 years?
The president?
Yes. Who was it?
I can't remember which president it was, but I know.
This young lady seems to understand some history.
Well, because I was alive then, probably.
That's a little bit predated.
That does help the memory.
Yeah.
But then about in early 70, along came this little thing. Has anybody seen this? Nobody's seen this thing?
I ain't seen it in person, but
Well, this is a little model of it, but it was a challenge. In the engineering, fabrication, construction industry, you have to make a number for what you're going to build it. In all cases, every one of these things we had to make a number of something in the future, so we built it out of imagination. So the interesting thing was that we bid this thing in 1971 for $8.5 million. That's a lot. See, that's 630 feet, 630 feet. Each one of these little triangles is 66 feet. This one's 22 feet. And it was designed by Earl Saarinen. Does that famous architect mean anything to you? Well, he was quite a famous architect. In fact, you'll see the story on History Channel every now and then. But the interesting thing was, he and his son competed for the design. The son won. The dad went home sad. Which
You should have been proud. Yeah, really.
But they said we said that before this kind of thing happened, and when these things were halfway up, it would fall down. The Park Service, who was our customer, said, "Oh no, it's not going to." We said yes. So we got some more experts. So the experts went and said, "Well, we agree with PDM, your company." because what they wanted to do is take big cables and bring them back here and put them into what we call a dead man, buried in the ground, so that these things would not fall over.
And then take them out after.
And then take them out afterwards. We said, because this thing is very strong when it's all together, but it's very weak immediately before. So we said we'll put that thing in and we'll charge you a little more money for it. Well, we did. It went together, and on the day that it was to be, the keystone was to be put in, it was only 2 inches. 2 inches between these two legs. So we jacked it apart, stuck in the keystone, and welded it very quickly. So that's the story there. So when you get this happens to be another interesting thing we did in 1974. These are annual reports of the company. This happens to be a certain kind of a nuclear reactor. So we built that. Does anybody remember the name 3 Mile Island? You do. Were you living nearby? No. We built that. And the nice thing about it was that it was the last piece of equipment that worked. So when you build these kinds of things, and by the way, this is an LNG, liquefied natural gas facility, that is in Puerto Rico, but it's something for our energy problem, to bring in liquefied natural gas, which we do bring into Boston now. You may, with that kind of a vessel. You see those things coming in every now and then, and that's liquefied natural gas. Comes out of the ground, you cool it down, it goes from a gas to a liquid, you pump the liquid in here, and you can carry an awful lot of energy in a small space. So when you get into the engineering, fabrication, construction company, it's a lot of variety. You start out doing a little design, and then you show you've got some, and if you select a kind of a company that has a training program, and I'm addressing this to you, you get into something with a training program so that you can move up in the company, and you show that you have some common sense skills, some leadership capability, and then you might become a vice president someday. That's the whole idea, is that what we're talking about upstairs was that it's continuing education all the time. Now, in my day, graduating from college in 1955, you generally, after you got out of service, you generally worked for one company. That's all. Not so today. You move around every 2 to 3 years, and the competition is terrific. So that's what's a little bit different. The reason I have some of these toys is that when you got to find something that interests you, not this kind of stuff. That's, what do you call those things?
Video games?
Video games. All they do is strengthen your thumbs. What you're trying to strengthen is this thing up here, so that you get hooked early. How early do you think Steve Jobs was when he got hooked? It was in the 70s, middle 70s. And I was playing with what was called a bus 100, where you just had everything connected together. You plugged in the different modules to make the computer work. And it grew and grew and grew, so that you never know that what the idea you have may really grow. Now, what's your role? What do you do?
I teach middle school math.
Okay, middle school is ages...